There are two things you need to know about me before we get started with this video. Number one, I have 4 or 5 comfort movies that if I need something to listen to, I will turn them on just so they're in the background. And I've seen them so many times, I know exactly what's going on. What are those movies, you might ask? Tangled, Shawshank Redemption, The Conjuring, Labyrinth, and A League of Their Own. They have nothing really in common, but I just like having all of those on. And number two, I have played softball for almost my entire life, except for in college. I've never been good enough to play college ball. So what does any of that really have to do with anything? Well, I am going to take some of my favorite things and smush them together for this video. That's right, I am making a 1940s inspired ghost prison baseball uniform. No, actually, only part of that statement is true. Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be my first Halloween costume that I've ever made on this channel. So of all the movies that I listed, A League of Their Own is probably the one that I love the most. It has everything. The music, 10 out of 10. Women doing great things, 1,000,000 out of 10. The costumes, fantastic. I have always kind of dreamed of having one of the Rockford Peaches baseball uniforms for myself, but as many of you know, buying costumes through Amazon or Spirit Halloween or anything like that, they're always so cheaply made and they're made out of polyester, which I'm trying to get away from. So of course, I'm going to make my own. And I'm actually really excited about it. It's not gonna be spooky or creepy or anything, it's just gonna be something I've always wanted. Now, before we get into the actual making of the costume, I think I actually need to sit down and review the source material. So let's go do that and take some notes. What is this garbage? What do you mean leaving soon, Netflix? Explain. Ugh, yes. The music just makes me happy. These jumpsuits, I want to make one of those once. Maybe full length with legs, but I want one of those. That one, right there. Also these pants. I want a pair of these pants. Specifically, the ones that Dottie's wearing. I love them. You watching the movie with me? Yeah. So as I'm sitting here watching this, the other thing that I just absolutely love about this is this whole sequence of the tryouts and everything, except for the actors, it's all baseball and softball players, and you can tell that they have actual abilities and skills. Gina Davis, who plays Dottie, she wasn't a softball or baseball player, but she learned how to play the game just for the movie, and she's amazing at everything that she does. It's not just a movie about women doing good things. They actually use women who are really good at these things. They don't just pretend for a movie. Love this movie. Yeah, nifty. I did forget how short they were, because that's very short. That's me. I'm basically Marla Hooch. That's also me. Me. The other thing that I was really interested about, and this is a good shot of it, is the back of the uniform has pleats near each shoulder so that you can put the number in the middle. And I don't think the pattern kind of pointed that out very well. So this is a good shot of how the gathers or the pleats on the back are supposed to go. This is an interesting shot because on Doris's uniform, you can kind of see the facing underneath that front panel, how they kind of overlap. You can also see the top stitching on everything, and the collars for these don't look like they have a whole lot of interfacing in them. Everything looks pretty just kind of loose and floppy, I guess. I've been trying this whole time to figure out how these close, and I can see that it unbuttons down to the waist, but I still have no idea what the skirt does. So I've made it a little farther in. I don't think I can actually show the scene because they are in their underbits, but it looks like the skirt actually slides on and then the bodice buttons up. I'm gonna have to make the skirt fit over like my hips and my butt. So I guess I'll just have to take that into account when I make it. Okay, we're back. Over the course of this year, I have been on the lookout as I've been thrifting for the perfect peach colored fabric I did look online. I was actually considering buying brand new fabric for this because I want this to be right. But honestly, it's such a specific pale pink peachy color. I didn't really trust online stores to present the color correctly. It seemed like some of them were too saturated or too orange, and I needed just the right peach color. And by the grace of the universe, I actually ran across 2 bed sheets on 2 different occasions that were basically the exact same perfect peach color. And when I say I was excited, that is an understatement. So I've been sitting on this fabric for months waiting to make this uniform. And now the time is here and I'm really excited. Also, I knew that this bodice was not something I was going to be able to draft on my own, especially with the aversion I have to button-up shirts right now. So I popped over to Etsy and I found this pattern from Designing Twining. It was 15 bucks for the pattern and it got good reviews. So I went ahead and I downloaded that specifically for the bodice. Let's get started on the bodice, shall we? As with all patterns, I start by cutting out all of the pieces and marking where I'm gonna put darts and where the collars need to go. I get everything sewn down, and believe it or not, I even ironed my stuff. I know you guys are proud of me. I also managed to put in quite a bit of top stitching on this because I wanted it to look good for once. And I added the darts to the back yoke. After another good press, it was starting to kind of look like a baseball uniform. So part of what makes this uniform so iconic is not just the design of it, but it also comes from the accessories. And these were actually pretty fun to source, I think. So of course we have to have our red hat, and this looks much redder on camera than it does in person. We have our matching red socks, red undershorts. Also on Amazon, they sell packs of all of the patches that the girls wear. Rockford Peaches, the Girls Professional Baseball League, and the Rockford R for our hat. These are all iron-on patches, but I'll also sew them on. And then each player also wears a red belt. Rather than buying a red belt, what I did was just buy a bunch of red nylon strapping, and I'm gonna turn this into a belt. This will be the fun part of the project, I think. Okay, welcome to day 2 or 3, maybe even 4. I don't really know. I did get sick right after I started this, so I haven't really felt like recording any of the process until today. But in the meantime, what I've gotten done is pretty much the entire bodice. I got buttons added. I got the patch put on the front, which I'm really excited about. I may have put the front patch on just a little off center, so I probably should have waited until after I got the whole thing put together, but whatever, it's neither here nor there. I also got the patch on the hat put on, which I'm pretty excited about. So now the next step is to get the skirt done. As I talked about while I was watching the movie, the skirt actually has to be able to slide on. It doesn't unfold anywhere, so I have to measure my hips at the widest point and then make a circle skirt off of that. That's what's next, is doing that part. Thinking ahead to it, I'm not real sure how the overlappy part is supposed to, maybe it just buttons down. I think that's what it does. Overall, the pattern has not been too bad. I think if I didn't get sick and didn't feel like an entire slug, this would be a little bit easier to get my brain through, but here we are. I pinned together the bodice and the skirt, got it all sewn together, when I made a very upsetting realization. So we have a little bit of a problem, but luckily I think it's gonna be easy to fix. I realized I had pinned the flaps on the front the wrong way.
But as I made the belt, I went through how to fix it in my little tiny brain, got it fixed, adjusted the buttons, and it was finally done.
All right, let's wrap this up. Overall, I am thrilled with how this turned out. It is not exactly right as far as the fit goes. This pattern runs large. Normally in patterns, I am a solid large, if not even into an extra large or like a 12, 14, 16. This one, I cut a medium and I probably could have cut a small, especially with the bodice part. If you want to try this pattern, and I recommend you do because it is relatively easy, definitely make a mock-up and you may need to size down, even 1 or 2 sizes. I did have big plans of doing the reveal out at a baseball field, but I woke up this morning and it was cold and rainy and I'm just not feeling that. Like I said before, I am getting over some sort of crud funk and I just don't feel like being out in the cold today. You may see it in action, I guess, coming up soon, but until then, hopefully this reveal was enough. One thing that I am kind of excited about with this pattern is the ability to use it for other things. As I've said over and over again, for some reason, button-up shirts are a little intimidating for me, and this was not. And I'm not exactly sure why it wasn't, but it wasn't. With this pattern, I actually have a couple of ideas that I want to try. Some sort of pirate-esque or military coat would be perfect with this. Especially with the crossover part. I think it can do a really good double-breasted coat situation. Also, this shirt from Outlander is coming up. I have been dying to make a shirt like that, and I think this pattern would be perfect for it. I am gonna have to figure out kind of the fit part of it because it is just so big. Other than that, I think this was a great project to do, and again, I am so excited to have this in my collection. I want to give a special thanks to Leslie, Jen, Rhonda, and Anna, my 4 supporters over on Ko-fi. Thank you to you guys. Your support means so much. I can't even believe that you guys are doing that, and I'm floored, and thank you. If you are interested in becoming a supporter, head over to my Ko-fi page. It's $2 a month. I try to give you guys kind of a sneak peek of what's coming. If you are a maker of any kind and you post over to your own Ko-fi account, I would love to give you a little shout out here because I think small makers should support other small makers. Otherwise, if you like this video, give it a like because I appreciate that and it helps YouTube figure out if this is worthwhile or not. And don't forget to subscribe. There are a lot of new folks here and I can't believe how many of you there are. So thank you for subscribing and for being here and all of the really nice comments that you leave. Believe me, I sit on my couch sometimes at night and read over those and just sit in disbelief at how nice you guys are. So thank you for that. Stick around because I've got more Halloween stuff coming up. I've got more Halloween decor things happening soon, and I'm very excited to get those out. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye!